students, welcome to our first English medium lesson of our English medium lesson series grade 10. Today we are going to discuss about the basic structure and function of the animal and the plant cell. First of all, let's talk about the basis of the cell, and later on we are going to discuss about the structure and the function and about the cell theory and about some of the organelles inside an animal and a plant cell. Firstly, let's talk about the basis of life. What is the basis of life? You know, we and all other animals, basically starting from a very small amoeba to a very large elephant, that is the largest mammal on ground, on earth, on ground, but the largest mammal is the blue whale. It's in the sea, but the largest mammal on ground is the elephant. From us to them, we all are made from one small structure, that is the cell. In this lesson, we are going to focus on this cell. Firstly, we'll talk about the history of the cell and how the cell was found. In 1665, a scientist called Robert Hooke discovered the cell. This is how he discovered it. He discovered a section of a cork and he saw something like chambers in a beehive. Like some chambers in a beehive, he saw something like that when he was discovering the side section of a cork. Alright, from his microscope he was discovering the cork. Alright, then he saw something like this, you know, like this. Something like this. This is like chambers in a beehive. I think you all have seen beehives. This is like chambers in a beehive. Alright. Then he named this as the cell and he told this is the basic component, the basic unit of life. Alright. Then later on, three scientists called Schleiden, Schwann and Radolf Virchow built up something that was called as the cell theory. Alright. The cell theory was considered from three components. The first one of the cell theory, they told that the basic functional and the structural unit of life is the cell. That means cells are the smallest unit. Cells are the basic smallest unit of life. That means us and the unicellular organisms such as amoebas and all that, euglenas and all that, you will discuss in the future. The second component of the cell theory is all organisms in this world are made of one or more cells. Alright. They tell that all organisms in this world are made of one or more cells. That means from a one cell, something like amoeba and euglena, something like that. And multicellular organisms like us, elephants and all the animals and trees. Alright. Then the third component of the cell theory says always new cells are made from existing cells. That means from existing mother cells, it divides from meiosis and mitosis, and we are going to discuss about that in the future, in the next video really. And from those things the cell is going to divide somehow, and the cell is going to make new daughter cells, right. You can see all the things like a plant. When a tree is a small plant, it's so small, and it's going to grow little by little, and it's going to be a big tree. This is done by cell division. From existing cells, new cells are made. Alright. Now we'll talk about the basic theories about the cell and how can we differentiate the animal cells and the plant cells. Alright, we can categorize cells by the function of it and by the structure of it. If we divide cells by its function, as an example, we can say some cells take oxygen from one place to another. As an example, when we breathe from our nostrils, we get oxygen, we get air really from our nostrils, and it goes from our trachea and for our bronchioles and finally to our alveoli. And in our alveoli, from our capillaries, blood capillaries, the oxygen is going to, the red blood cells in our blood capillaries takes the oxygen from the alveoli, and it takes the oxygen all over the body, right, and give to the cells for metabolism all over the body. How this is happen? By red blood cells. In the red blood cells there is a component called as hemoglobin. Alright, there is a component called as hemoglobin, and when oxygen is binded to hemoglobin, it's called as oxy hemoglobin. What is hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is a protein and a small ferrous group. Alright, it's a protein binded with a iron group. Alright, 4 iron groups bounded to a protein, and it can carry a large amount of oxygen, and there are a lot of hemoglobin molecules in one RBC. What's a RBC? A red blood cell, and it carries oxygen to our whole body. Alright, now we discussed about the function, and another example for the function is let's say a neuron cell. You know, a neuron cell is somewhat like this. This is a one cell. Now you can see cells take different structures, alright. This is also a cell, we called it a neuron cell. What this cell do? It carries impulses. What is impulses? Impulses is like something like an electrical signal. You know, when we call someone, electrical signals travel from the wire, and our voice can be heard by the person in the other side, like that. It's something like that. When we touch something, we can feel that, and the impulse travels along our nerve root by neuron cells, and we got synapses among neuron cells. You will get that in GCE A levels if you do biology, alright. and the impulse will travel to the brain. Alright. So that is another function of cell. Like that, cells have different functions. As an example, cells in our epithelial cells, we call it in Sinhala apichchada saila, epithelial cells that are aligned in our gastrointestinal tract. What is gastrointestinal tract? Our GI tract. Alright, GI tract means in Sinhala ahara jeerna paddhatiya. The small intestine, in our small intestine there are some cells that can absorb food components, that means simple food components such as monosaccharides and amino acids, they can absorb those. Some epithelial cells aligned in this bowel can absorb those things. Now you can see that different cells do different things and they have different functions. Alright. Like that, cells can be categorized from their function and from their structure. Now let's discuss about the structure of the cell. How we are going to discover, how we are going to see the structure of a cell. There is a small practical in your textbook. I'll explain this. First, you must collect a specimen of your cheek cells. Alright. In Sinhala we call that kopul saila, and it's called as cheek cells. It's inside our mouth, and firstly, using a yogurt spoon or somewhat like that, you can scrape out a small amount, not a large amount. Don't scrape so hard, it may damage your cheek. Scrape a very little amount of your cheek cells. Alright, a very little amount of your cheek cells, and in a glass slide like this. This is a glass slide, a small glass slide. Alright, put a small drop of water like this. Alright, put a very small drop of water like this and place your specimen, your cheek cell specimen, alright, here. Using a brush or something, you can place the cheek cell specimen here on the drop of water. Alright. Then cover this specimen from a cover slip. Cover slip is also a glass slide, very thin glass slide. Alright, very thin glass slide. Put this on the slide, and from the light microscope you can discover the main structure of your cheek cell. As you can see here, you can see something like this. This is the structure of the cheek cell. Now let's talk about the structure, the main structure of the plant cell and the animal cell. Now let's discuss about the plant and the animal cell. Inside these plant and the animal cells, we can see many organelles such as mitochondria, such as Golgi complexes, and nucleus, inside that the nucleolus, and the cytoplasm. All these organelles are sunk in the cytoplasm, and the smooth and the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and many other organelles can be seen inside cells. Now let's discuss the structure, the basic structure of a plant cell. The plant cell is something like this. something like this, and this is the cell membrane. Alright, this is the cell membrane. I'll teach you how to draw this by step by step. First, the cell membrane. Around the cell membrane, coating the cell membrane like this, there is the cell wall. This one is the cell wall. Alright, here is the cell wall. Then inside the cell there is a small nucleus, and all the cell duties and cell functions are controlled by the nucleus. Alright, nucleus. And inside the nucleus there is nucleolus. Alright, inside the nucleus there is the nucleolus. The cell wall, cell membrane, nucleus and the nucleolus. And there is a big vacuole. Alright, vacuole. Alright, in Sinhala we call this Rikta Kaya, not Riktaya. Riktaya means free space without any air, with a zero pressure, alright. Without air, with zero pressure is something as we called it as the vacuum, and this one is the vacuole. That means the Rikta Kaya. In Sinhala it is called as the Rikta Kaya. Alright. Then we have something like this. We have a lot of like this. What are these? These are mitochondria. Alright, these are mitochondria. And we have something like this. What are these? A very important component that can be only seen in the plant cell, that is the chloroplasts. In Sinhala, Harita Lava. Alright, the vacuole, the mitochondrion, the nucleus, and inside that the nucleolus, and inside the this is the cell membrane, and outside the cell wall. Alright, the cell wall is done by cellulose, hemicellulose and such things. Alright, that is the cell wall, and this is the basic structure of the plant cell, and we can see something like this. This is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and we call it as SER, and this is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. We can see small dots in this. What are these dots? These dots are ribosomes, and these can be seen in the cell also separately. But if ribosomes are on the endoplasmic reticulum, we call that rough endoplasmic reticulum, RER. Alright. the smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the rough endoplasmic reticulum. And also we can see Golgi apparatus here, something like this. If you can see something like this, this is the Golgi complex or the Golgi apparatus. Golgi complex, we will say Golgi complex or Golgi apparatus, alright. This is the basic structure of a plant cell. Now let's discuss about the structure of the animal cell, basic animal cell. Animal cells can get any shape. As an example, we will take this shape, something like this. Cell like this, alright. In an animal cell, like the plant cell, we cannot see a large vacuole wall. Instead of that, we can see a large nucleus, alright. This is the nucleus. Inside that, same as the plant cell, there is a nucleolus. Alright, nucleus and a nucleolus. The membrane around this, we call it the nuclear envelope. Alright. Then attached to this nucleus, we can see something like this. Going around the cell, alright, something like this. Sometimes this is attached to the cell membrane or the plasma membrane, alright. This red thing is called as the cell membrane or the plasma membrane. Alright, cell membrane or the plasma membrane. Alright, then what are these? In this we can see small dots. What are these? What are these? These are ribosomes, alright. These small dots are ribosomes and they are on the endoplasmic reticulum, same as the plant cell. This is called the endoplasmic reticulum, and the endoplasmic reticulum with ribosomes is called as the rough endoplasmic reticulum, called as RER, alright. Then this is without, this is the endoplasmic reticulum without ribosomes, and this is called as the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Alright. Then what is this? In the plant cell also we call this. Alright. What is this? Small granules, we can see small granules also. This is the Golgi apparatus or the Golgi complex. Alright. Golgi complex or the Golgi apparatus, and same as the plant cell we can see a double walled organelle like this. What is this? The mitochondrion. The mitochondria. Alright. The mitochondria, the nucleus, the nucleolus, the SCR, and the RER, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and the rough endoplasmic reticulum. And also inside the animal cell we can see small vacuoles. Alright, small vacuoles can be seen like this. Alright, small vacuoles. Now you can see the mitochondrion. There are many mitochondrion. Alright, here, here, here. Alright, like this. Alright, the mitochondrion, the vacuoles, small vacuoles, the RER, the rough endoplasmic reticulum, the mitochondrion, the cell membrane, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, the nucleus, and inside that the nucleolus. Around the nucleus there is the nuclear envelope, and the cell is margined by the cell membrane of the plasma membrane, and inside the cytoplasm. This is the cytoplasm. These all organelles are all organelles are sunk in the cytoplasm. Alright, in the cytoplasm we can see the Golgi complex, the mitochondrion, and all that. There is something different. Alright, there is something different than in the plant cell, and there are some differences between the plant cell and the animal cell. The first difference I see is there any cell wall in the animal cell? Yeah, there is no cell wall. Alright, in the animal cell there is no cell wall, but in the plant cell there is a cell wall. The cell wall is absent in the animal cell. Then the second one, can you see any chloroplasts here? Can you see any chloroplasts here? No. That means in the animal cell there are no chloroplasts. Alright, there are no chloroplasts in the animal cell. There are only mitochondrions and Golgi complexes and those things. Alright, there are no chloroplasts. And the third one, in the plant cell you saw a big vacuole, a large vacuole, and the cytoplasm, the cytoplasm was pushed to the periphery. Alright, the cytoplasm was pushed to the periphery, and the whole cell was filled by the vacuole. Alright, but in this cell there are small vacuoles. In the animal cell there is no large vacuole, and there is a large cytoplasm. Sure, is all the cell is filled by the cytoplasm, but there is no vacuole. Alright, then there is no vacuole. There are small vacuoles, but there is no big vacuole in the animal cell. But in the plant cell there is a large vacuole, and the cytoplasm is pushed to the periphery. Those are the main differences we can see in a plant cell, between a plant cell and the animal cell. Alright, from this video we discussed about the basis of the cell and the structure of the cell, and about the cell theory, and also we discussed about the main structure, the basic structure of the plant cell and the animal cell. I think you all understand the basics of this lesson, and let's meet with our next lesson. Please, if you haven't subscribed our channel, please subscribe our channel by pressing the subscribe button below, and also press the bell icon. Then when we upload new videos, you will be informed by a notification. Alright, while doing these English medium videos, we are going to continue the Sinhala medium videos also. So the Sinhala medium subscribers, please don't be scared. We haven't stopped Sinhala medium. අපි සිංහල මාධ්‍යයෙන් වීඩියෝ නිකුත් කිරීම ඇත්තටම නවත්තලා නැහැ. අපි ඉංග්‍රීසි මාධ්‍යයෙන් වීඩියෝ නිකුත් කිරීම ආරම්භ කළාට අපි ඉංග්‍රීසි මාධ්‍යයෙන් සහ සිංහල මාධ්‍යයෙන් යන දෙකේම ඉදිරියේදී ඔබට වීඩියෝ ගෙන ඒමට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. Okay then, thank you for listening. See you in the next video.